new book, so I'm
This is
sure we
not
got plenty to talk about.
yeah, this is not going to be live on YouTube, is it?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah, it's live on YouTube on our YouTube channel, and I'll put the link in the chat right now. So let me see. I need to mute that. Okay. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome very much to. Oh, hold up. Oh, yeah. Okay. We're on the right channel. Um, welcome to Beyond the Spark. I'm sorry. This is not Beyond Spark. See, look, I'm tripping. Welcome to First Sundays with Black Poet Laureates. Because this is what we do on First Sunday. We come together, and today we are going to be featuring the one and only David Judah One, and I cannot wait to talk to him about his new project and his new book. So definitely want you to tune in and participate in the conversation. If you didn't know, now you know. My name is Raya Carmen, and we're going to have ourselves a good time here. Welcome, David.
Welcome. Hey, thank you.
Let me turn my volume up so I can hear you.
Good to be back again.
Yeah. Okay, let me get you this link.
Uh-huh.
There you go. All right. And I am going to post these links that you just gave me in the chat over here on YouTube. Uh-oh. There we go. And one more. All right, everybody. So, yes. David, tell us what you've been up to, man. What's been going on in your world?
Well, right now I'm posting this link.
Right now, the only thing going on in my world is posting this link.
Yeah, copy, paste, send, post. All right. What
All
is
right.
in my world? Plenty. I just released a new book. Let me see. 40 poems for my 40th birthday, 40 poems written during my tenure as the inaugural poet laureate of Pomona, California. Pretty
Okay.
the book. I actually enjoy these poems a great deal. They're different than my normal writing because I was writing for like the public. I was writing for purpose, on purpose, for special events and occasion and to be easily digested. So I like these poems and just the wondering that I had during that time, you know.
Okay. So they're a little different.
Yes, but I dig them quite a bit, quite a bit. What else is going on? Well, I have Limelight Creative Education as part of my poetry venue out here in Pomona. And it's called Lion Life Mind State, and we've been out for 15 years. Been active for 15 years. We're currently doing a lot still. We have a show called Whiskey and Words, which is a monthly grown and sexy artist showcase.
Okay.
Yeah, poetry, comedy, and live music with 3 hosts throughout the night. So it's a good community thing. We brought out some poets from across the nation there. I think last month we had Malik Youssef, 8-time Grammy-winning writer and artist. Wrote for Kanye and quite a few others.
Nice.
Ed Mabry the month before. The month before we had Rudy Francisco. Yeah, we've been pushing it through. We're about to start back at the Fairplex. The Fairplex of LA
What's the
County.
Fairplex?
Fairplex of LA County is where the LA County Fair happens. So it's the largest, I believe, still the largest fair in the nation.
Okay. So I
Yeah,
need to come out to LA.
LA County Fair. So we're at the Millard Sheets at the Fairplex. The Millard Sheets is their art center. It used to be the LA County Art Center before LACMA. So, but that's technically, that was our home before COVID, and now we're kind of moving back into it. So we're looking to do that in October. What else is going on with Judah One? Last year I was the first artist activist in residence at, well, 2 years ago now, it's the first artist activist in residence at Pitzer College. I believe this incoming year is about to be announced that I'll be the incoming artist engineer in residence at
Mm.
Cal Poly Pomona University at the College of Environmental Design. So that's engineering, architecture, the art department, the art studios. I'll be doing some programming, some lectures, some workshops. It's kind of unheard of to me anyway so far, because I just thought it was like going to be a year. And then like, oh no, like we're talking like that's some great first year stuff. So what do you want to do the second year? I was like, wait, what? Yeah, what do you want to do the second year? This is permanent. I was like, oh, so I'm the permanent artist engineer in residence. That works out quite well because
Mm-hmm.
Cal Poly's an engineering school. Um, I'm an engineering consultant. I own my own engineering consulting firm. So and I'm an artist, so it works out quite a bit.
So, so tell me now, what does it mean if you're an artist engineer?
Well, I'm already an engineer.
Right.
So it can mean a couple things. So I'm an artist. It's an art. I'm the art resident. It's an engineering school. So I'm still an engineering resident. So with that, I can create a work study program for young engineers that want to learn the trade and learn the field. They're going to come with me and learn actual engineering in the field,
Mm-hmm.
learn engineering. And then I have these other set. Well, we create a work study program for Lion Like Creative Education. That's my now third wing of Lion Like Mind State, which is our nonprofit. I hired 6 artists last year. We taught at 5 different disenfranchised high schools. And we
Wow.
in 13 weeks, these are their books. These are the students' books. There's one,
Nice.
I don't have one. There's 4 or 5 are right here. These are all available on Amazon right now. Just look up Lion Like Creative Education and you can buy the whole set. All the covers are done by the students. The work inside is done by the students. 13 weeks, they did poetry, they did songwriting, they did storytelling, they did beat production. They presented, and that's how we got down. That's how we got down with that. So now I also have a contract with Pomona Unified School District in the brewing, like it should be signed this week, and another one. So there should be like another 8 to 10 high schools or junior highs coming. So I'm hiring more artists right now and about to get training and orienting and get that going.
I love it.
Quite a bit, yo. Getting
All
ready.
right, so I know that you do this. This is you are a full-time engineer, right, for the city of
Yeah.
Pomona?
No, not for the city of Pomona. I'm independent, and
Oh, independent.
I'm in the field of engineering. So I'm a type of engineer. I'm not a structural engineer, but I'm a type of engineer. I'm engineering. I'm an inspector of engineering. Mhm.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I remember us talking about that. So on the side, as if there is a side, this you do all of the other things that you just mentioned.
Oh yeah, and we
Um,
had the second ever Pomona Poetry and Book Festival last year. That was 13 days of poetry, and we were in front of at least 100,000 people saw that last year. 13 days of poetry that I curated for the second time, and that'll also be curating next year. So there's a lot.
yeah, there's a lot you do there, and you're still like a dad.
Absolutely, she's downstairs right now, and we're about to go.
you,
Yeah, she's
you do a lot. How how does how do you plan things out so that it's balanced?
there are a lot of things I say no to. There are a lot of people I say no to.
Hmm.
I like being home. So, but during the day, like as an inspector, it's different. I'm not in the field with the shovel or anything. Like I'm writing reports. I have downtime, minimal downtime, but during that downtime, there are emails that are sent. There's plans that are made. There's things that are caught up on. There's accounting that happens. There's bills paid. There's bank routes. There's all kinds of stuff that are happening as I'm moving between jobs because I have like 2 or 3 a day. So I'm just moving and moving back and forth as I do. So I do everything else I need to. I pick up my daughter, I'm able to leave and pick her up and take her to gymnastics or Boys and Girls Club or whatever, karate for the most part. Summer gets a little harder because, engineering in the field, construction is, my jobs will end up starting like at 5 a.m. As soon as the
Mhm.
sun is actually on us, we can start working at a lot of spaces. So 5 a.m. and sometimes the guys, they'll have to go until 7 p.m. So on those days, uh, it's a good thing her mom and I have a very good co-parenting relationship. So,
Right.
hey, I'm late or I can't pick her up or I'll pick her up tomorrow or vice versa because the mom's also a creative. So, we make it work. As far
Okay.
as everything else, I'm still citizen advisor to the city of Pomona on the Cultural Arts Commission. So like those things, they get harder. Like I forget dates, but I hired an assistant last year, 2 years ago, to help me with the fair. Because I woke up with tears in my eyes. I was like, there's too much. There's too much. And
Right.
a lot. So she runs Lion Like Creative Education for me. I kind of scaled back the things that I do with Lion Like also because my whole team's older. We all got kids and all that. So I'm cognizant
Hmm.
of what I ask or what I take on because if I'm taking it on by osmosis, they're kind of all taking it on in support of just
Right.
this. So I try to just watch what we do and make sure that we get paid accordingly.
Oh, all right, all right. So I like that. I like that you've built out a team. Did you decide to do that while you were poet laureate? Is that when it was like, okay, is this too much? I need a team.
Uh, yes and no. Yes, it should have happened when my daughter was born 10 years ago. My assistant today was my assistant. She could have been my assistant then. She was like, yo, I see what you're doing. You're too busy. You need help. I was like, I feel bad because I don't like taking help if I can't pay you. And I couldn't pay. And then more so, I got a budget to do the show. And I was like, hey, I need help. I'm dealing with over 30 artists. I'm making
Hmm.
flyers. I'm making contracts. I need help. And then Line Like Creative started. I need help. I can't go to all the schools. So now
Right.
I'm hiring people to do that. But that was always the plan, even when I had my art gallery. Line Like Creative Education is a 13-year-old plan. Literally,
Right.
I have paper with a date on it. It's 13 years old. So it's just now is the time for it. So the balance is the time came.
Hmm.
I'm just who I needed to be during this time. I'm who I needed to be. I'm able to do it.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I love that. I love it. Well, can we hear some poems?
You know what I mean? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. I do that. These are going to be in no particular order. I'm just going to read from the book. They're short poems. Here we go. Y'all, I don't want a revolution. I am one. My mind evolved the Fibonacci spiral. If I can figure out where I'm at, I can calculate from which I came, then some future. More past till I recognize the present replay. Past more till I find divine duplicate. I found a wrinkle in time, observed it from the mothership. Beam me up to where the thoughts came. I came. I got African eyes, Osiris in my right brain. I don't want a revolution. I am one. My mind evolved the Fibonacci spiral, a Sirius type orbit. Nothing on the planet more bit than applied mathematics and that sauce shit. Capitalize and seize. Maybe you'll get it if I spit it like Aziz. We need more mysteries in these verses, please. Less cursing and more bless them with the lessons. School's in session. Take them back to where the numbers were the language, and we was all sixes. Now get this, I'm a sphere with a spear. You brothers better stay in clear, because my energy is extraterrestrial. Gold almond, atom to atom. Elder sun disk, raise the obelisk. Certain frequencies need black stone to transmit. Black sand, black mind, maybe the old chemistry or the old chemic, alchemy of shit. Turn the sun to gold, gold to sun, that's my melanin. Turn the sun to gold to sun, and that's my melanin. That's a high metaphor. Please raise your consciousness past the concrete, move into the concept. I don't want a revolution. I am one.
Yes. I
Now,
love that.
now, thank you very much. I'll do this another one too. These are like my real cerebral ones, I think, and then I started coming down a little bit. This one was called Time is Travel. And this is about time travel in a sense. Sometime feels like other time, but it is time all the same. This is only the third line, and I am already 67 miles when I started. The earth travels 67,000 miles per hour, you know. When I felt I was stuck, that must have been a true metaphor. I have crossed the span of earth 3 times in my silence. It was there I met Midas. Then I learned to touch. It was when I heard to listen. I was in the same place 200,000 miles away from when I got there. When I realized I was the future and the present, I spoke from that perspective. As one who has been around the sun, I seen the orbit in the cycles. The seasons sound the same, like the myths and their reasons. They say time is linear. My soul alerts treason. They worry about the end, never figured the beginning. Many winning in the race, they admit they never knew the purpose of. What are you running for? What are you running to? What will you do when you get there? Why run so fast to the finish line? If you're treating life like a race, I hope you know the rules, call them universal truths. Nightly, I travel 400,000. Nightly, I travel 469,000 miles away from Adam's apple, body in the same place, call it time travel. My dreams
Mm.
unravel problems in the present tense. In a sense, it's pretty intense, realizing what you're doing, powerful in fact, but the power isn't acknowledging the power. I acknowledge the power and the principles set before me. So all these poems are from my book. I put some AI art in them. You know what I mean? I wasn't planning it that way. I actually asked the artist to make some art and it wasn't working off my deadline. I had a deadline for a $50,000 book competition. I missed it by 1 day.
Oh no.
Deadlines matter. And
Deadlines do matter.
I would have blazed with this joint. I never entered a competition. I'm very confident I would have blazed it with this. 50 racks.
Oh, wow. Hey,
That's why I do a
therefore,
lot of things myself. Judah, why you do this? Why you do that? Why? Because I have deadlines, man, and I trust someone to do some stuff for me, and it don't get done. It's like, yo, man, like you really damaged the relationship or the opportunity. Um, So here we go. But give thanks is done. I'm happy with the work. Ooh, this is the last one that was done. This is it's called POP, which is an acronym for the precipice of polarity. This was actually a
okay.
song we were doing, but it's a poem. Here we go. Have a sip of my customary Jack and Coke. Huh. And we find ourselves here on the precipice of polarity where we shall shift in suddenly into equal parts, rift in singularity. Such is the sound to be left behind by this light body. We are starmen still of clay, building mortar by composite chemicals. We break down, we break down, we break down ourselves. I'm doing it like the song. I don't know why. I can't. It's hard not to. Let me shake that. And we find ourselves here on the precipice of polarity where we shall shift in suddenly into equal parts rift in singularity. Such is the sound to be left behind by this light body. We are starmen, still of clay, building mortar by composite chemicals. We break down, we break down, we break down ourselves into droid form. After a while, during that while, we realize now that true consciousness is an avatar elsewhere. 99
Mm.
bottles of beer. 99 bottles of beer. They all on the wall. 99 bottles of beer. They all on the wall. 99 bottles of beer. We all on the wall. And 99.99, 99.99, 99.998% of every atom is clear. Take one down and pass it around.
Mm.
One down and pass it around. Take one down and pass it around, and it'll attract to where its programming is clear, and it'll attract to the same rules that bind you. 99.998% of you are empty space. Are you really here?
Whoa. I love it. I love it. I know that you and I share that engineering kind of mathematical background. And so often people are like, I just don't understand how you do poems and you do math. That just doesn't make sense to me. And I always tell them, like, those two things exist synonymously in my mind. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the same to me. So, I love it. I love that you have been putting the scientific into the poetry. That makes my heart happy.
Word up.
Happy.
Thank you. What I think about this one too is how I slipped into I wasn't planning on doing it, the 99 bottles of beer on the wall. But I thought about it. I was like, yo, like you can have a full wall of bottles of beer, but that wall is empty. It's
Hmm.
literally empty space.
It's empty
And
space.
again, our atoms, 99.998% of our atoms are empty space. 99.99% of you, this right here that I'm touching, this shit is empty on the inside. You know, it's moved, there's air that can be moved around. If there's voids in it, then it's not a solid thing. So
Right.
um I dig that poem. Let's see here. I got time, right?
Yeah, you have plenty of time.
These all these poems you can find them from my book, While Seated, available at Barnes and Noble, Google, Amazon. You can get it Amazon right now and get it in the morning. It's a small pocket-sized book. It's my hand size. It's a 7-inch book.
Ah.
It's an 8-inch book. It's my hand. And yeah, so here we go. I'm gonna read this poem called I Am Just Begun. So every so often I write a new I am poem, I update those. I have students, and the easiest way to kind of get them understanding poetry is one, a list poem and
Hmm.
I am poem. Like just what are you? You know, I am purple, I am green, I feel, you know what I mean? I'm this. So I like to do those too. And this is one of my last ones from my class that I had teaching at some juvenile hall. I should have wrote it down. Pretty low. I am teaching another how to, and again, I am attempting to open portals to more mortals. I am not one. I am one too. One of many, one of none. I am responsible for so much that I forget when I list them. I am a frequent forgetter of dates and a famous name mixer. No limit soldier in the kitchen for my daughter, a brother for my boys, but brotherless. I am a constant creator of the good, or so I think I am. Working towards self-acceptance, still as confounding as that is to say out loud. I am proud of myself, not proud of some secrets. I am not a keeper of many secrets. I am a key to many mysteries, yet still I am in the mystery of the mastery of my keys. I am an apprentice of myself. Sometimes that self is Lord and Master. I am the picker up of these bootstraps. I am legend, such as the key on a map found at the end of the road when you thought your journey was over. I am just begun.
Wow. Yes, sir. Yes. Love it.
Thank you.
Well, you are a featured poet in fullness of the word, and it is. Oh, and he got his copy of In Fullness of the Word too. All right, so
Been
these
a
are
busy year. This
two
is book
books, so
7 on the
you
year, book
can
7.
definitely find David Judah one. I love it. Ah, man. So tonight we were supposed to be joined by our brother, Desan, who just doesn't have a voice today. He's been feeling under the weather. So you guys get a little bit from me because we're here. Um, David, you just finished your term. Am I correct? As
I finished in December, yes.
in December. Oh,
December
okay.
31st, the last day of December.
December 31st. Now, is there a new laureate of Pomona?
There is a new laureate of Pomona, Cesar Avalar. Is doing a
Yes,
big rap.
Avalar.
Mhm. Doing a big,
Awesome. I'll
yeah.
have to look up Mr. Cesar. Um, so for me, I finished in June with a Southern Fried Poetry Slam Festival here in Knoxville, and it was great. We ended up with, great crowds throughout the festival. We had great workshops. And just our city really, turned out and did a great job. And then I was able to turn over the laureate ship. I still don't know what to call this. position, the laureate position. I turned it over to Black Atticus, Joseph Black Atticus Woods, who is now the Poet Laureate of Knoxville, which is really cool because he and I have been working together for probably 20 years. And so it was kind of nice to just be able to pass that on to him. In the process of passing that on, I signed to a performing arts label with River and Rail Theater Company. They just started their very first performing arts label and signed 5 artists. I'm the only spoken word artist. So I got a gig coming up on August 26th.
Where at?
First one on the label. Also, it's my dream to be able to do poems before a football game. I'm a huge UT fan. University of Tennessee, blood runs orange, just where I graduated from. I got 2 degrees from there. So I love it. I love it. Several of my friends were athletes. And so it's always been like my dream. I want to, get a little bit of Amanda Gorman on and open up for a football game. And so that is hopefully going to be able to happen soon.
Where at?
Just as a result of everything that has popped off. So, do you find that more doors are open now that you have served as poet laureate, and we're still young? Like, so we did this at a. I can't
Right.
hear you.
That's it. We're still young. It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
so we're still
crazy.
young.
I
Like,
got
so
three
what is the
valid
plan?
son.
What's in the works? What's in the works now?
I have a lot of, I mean, I'm working with Cal Poly, so I'm working with these students. So just, I have a lot in the works. I have a lot of dreams. It's really like,
Yeah,
um, I'm trying to curtail myself. Um, yeah, and I really mean, I really mean that too, because I have plans. I have books of plans. Like, I don't know
yeah,
if you understand that I have books of plans.
yeah.
So I have to slow myself down because I will do everything.
Everything. Yeah, see, and that's what I find is that I I just that was not the end of the road for me, like that was just kind of like a step, and it almost happened earlier than I ever thought it would, right? And so now it's like, okay, all of these other plans, now I've got that on my back and in my pocket, so I can walk into locations and say, hey, I'm Poet Laureate Emerita, and this is what I want to do. And so all of those plans that I had in the books, now I have to slow myself down because
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, let's go, let's do it
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
And I still got to be a wife, and I still got to be a mom, and
I still gotta be a dad.
yeah. So
It was a big, problem in my last relationship. But it's the speed of my life at the moment. So I'm not married. So I keep going the speed that I'm going. Um,
yeah, see, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and then my husband is also a creative, so there's these plans that we have that we work together on as well. So those projects have to happen as well. And then I just started this journey of being a plant individual, um, which has made me very zen. I can say that. I told my best friend the other day, I said, I'm not eating meat, so I don't have the like animal aggression. I feel like maybe I popped off a little quicker when I was eating meat. I don't know. I feel like now all I eat is fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, and mushrooms. And so I'm like, ah, every day I'm very zen. I left the classroom, so I no longer teach, so I don't have teenage aggression either. So I'm super zen right now. But I get to work with kids all the time.
What are you doing then? It's since you stepped away from teaching.
I run a program for teachers to become math teachers.
Okay.
So it's called UT Plays. So I work for the university, and it is a math program that's asynchronous. So teachers all over the state come into this program because they want to add an endorsement to be a math teacher.
Cheers.
Huh?
Cheers.
Thank you. Teacher
Yeah.
of teachers.
Yeah.
So that's where
I'm
I'm
a
at.
master teacher. It's called a master teacher.
And I love it. I love it. I have a lot more flexibility because it's an asynchronous course. So teachers can contact me at any time, and because of that, it makes my schedule uh, a little friendlier,
Yeah, hear that.
not as taxing.
You're
So
able to do the projects.
exactly
You know
now
what
I'm
the gift
able.
that I find the gift makes room for itself. You know what I
I
mean?
think that's what has happened. I honestly
As
think that.
long as you more submit to it, you know,
Mm.
it'll maybe not to the gift itself, but the intention of it or the path that it's supposed to be on. Then you know the things they just come into play for you. Not always. I felt like I was in alignment for a long time, and I was hungry for a long time in couch surfing too. But then again, there are other times that yeah, it just made a way for itself.
And this definitely did. I was not expecting it. Had you asked me a year ago, would I stop teaching? I would have never said no.
Mhm.
You know, I wouldn't have. But doors opened and moved and doors closed. You know what I mean? So doors closed, and then I was like, oh, okay. So, where do I move next? But honestly, it has definitely been just divine, like the divine hand on
Yep.
everything. And that's what's been beautiful.
Yeah. I actually we started the art program for the first, this was like a pilot. And you know, I had artists, employees for the first time to pay steadily, whether the checks come or not on time. When you're dealing with schools, often you sometimes you'll have to wait a little bit. Sometimes you won't, but you're not supposed to. But sometimes you have to wait, even when you're on the college show. You know, it's in the mail or it's in process, or someone loses it, or whatever the case. So I actually lost my job in the middle of the art program for 6 weeks, and
Wow.
everyone still had to get paid, and everything had to happen. And what I did was I just stepped on the gas and started sending out work contracts. I was like, yo, if I just lost my engineering job, I have to, number one, supplant that bread, and I still have to pay these employees because this cannot fall down. And that's how we got all these other schools popping off too. It's like, yo, we got to step on it right now. I used the last little bit of bread that I had and invested it, all of it, go, go, go. And so
Mm-hmm.
in Rice for a minute, got the engineering gig back and a couple more. So it actually multiplied itself and gave me time. That
Right.
time of desperation gave me what I needed to.
To just get
Now,
everything.
punch, 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 punch.
Man, yes. That's like, hey,
Yep.
you're preaching. You're preaching because
Try
that's
not to.
exactly
I try not.
how my life was right there. It was a matter of um I was not invited back to my
Mm-hmm.
school. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, then that means that art has got to replace this. And let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. And that's where I started doing it to the point now that I'm looking at the calendar and I was like, when did I even, when did I set up all of this stuff? Wow, okay. I did all of that in in the time where I was trying to be like, okay, I gotta take. And now I'm looking at the calendar. I was like, oh, I didn't remember.
I don't
I didn't
remember.
remember. And I'm
I
like, oh,
did
we can't wait
remember.
to see you. I was like,
You go to the mail. You're
glad I
like,
even
where's this
said yes to
check coming
that.
from? Where's this check coming from? Where's this check coming from? Where's this check
Yes.
from? I don't remember doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks.
That's exactly. Just last night, I got an email that was like, hey, where should we send your check? I was like, I don't remember
Okay,
saying that I.
did I do that?
Okay. It's a good problem to have,
Thank
right?
you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, yeah,
That's not
I'm
saying
with
that we're
you.
balling everybody. That's not saying that. It's just saying that, art is paying off. Art's doing this thing.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to share just one poem tonight.
I'm here for more poems too.
Oh, I want you to do more. I'm gonna let you feature.
I wrote
You
a list of
got
poems.
this.
They short.
I'm just going to share one. And the reason why I'm sharing this one is because one, my son is downstairs screaming and everybody can probably hear him. But the other reason that I'm sharing this is because the show that I was talking about at the end of this month, for the first time ever, my son is going to be my drummer. And it's his very first professional gig. Um, he is a drummer and has been since he was 6 months old. And He's hyper focused on the drums. It's a beautiful thing, but it's also it's the drums. So
How old is he?
huh?
How old is he?
He's 12.
12 now.
Yeah, so the first time he's getting his first professional gig, he'll earn a check for being my drummer in the show, and it should be fun. But I wrote this poem for him. I started writing it um, probably when he was about 3 or 4, and we realized that he was not going to let go of his love for the drums. And I didn't finish it until last year because it was a hard poem to write, but I did get it out. So it's called The World is His Drum. I have run from this beat for long enough. A poem 11 years in the making. Blocked by a diagnosis of lesions on the brain, it scares me to think that I am a teacher, but I do not have all of the answers. I study math, but I do not have all of the solutions. When I cannot see past the moment to understand what he is thinking, I feel helpless and lacking. He was born on my birthday. 33 years after I was, still the rumble from my voice with brown eyes and hands reaching out toward heaven. I called them his poetry hands. Didn't know that he was reaching for a song that planted itself in his spirit long before I would ever hear it. He was 6 months old with a smile that melted my heart when he decided to speak in the language only he could understand. Perfect rhythm on his high chair. The spoon and the tray became his first snare drum. Later, my bowls and plates would be the set he practiced perfection on. I noticed that he could be in a room full of people and all he heard was the blast beats. Tapped out cadences on Legos and cars when other children wanted to play. I knew he was different. But it was hard for everyone to hear his beautiful mind. There were signs creating a score for his story. The backbeat wouldn't stop pulling his attention away from everything the educational system thought should have his focus, led them to test and see what he had known all along. He was a genius, and the world wasn't ready for his song. Autism spectrum disorder is a diversity not even I fully understand. I just know that hiding in the crash is his safe place, and sometimes he runs away to find it. He is all in and all out with common time, focused on or focused off with the dynamics of greatness, more acoustic than digital, more like me than I am often willing to admit. There are days when being his mother is everything I need to know that God loves me. But there are days when I only wish that I could stop the fat back he hears long enough for him to hear the tapping of my voice on his heart, and still days when I wish I could listen to his solo and drown out the noise of life around me. It is simple for him, a flam that only he hears, a beat that only he is dancing to. I am trying to teach him safety, but he is teaching me life, silently instructing the world to be unique and celebrate. He dances to music like something is taking over his body, unafraid to be different. He speaks to people even when they don't speak back. He never lets it slow the music he hears. They just become a break in the beat that he pops and locks his way through. He loves without question and forgives with no grudges. Everybody is a potential friend, and when they don't respond to his invite, he is quick to let me know it is their loss. He never has a bad day. No matter what has happened, when you ask him how his day was, he says that it was great. And I know he's had some hard ones. I've been there for the days when nothing goes the way he planned and he struggles to find words to make it make sense, but it always makes sense on the drum. I never wanted to be a mother until he came along. It's the best job I never applied for. I try to always tell him that he is an awesome son. He says that I am an awesome mom in response, but I don't always believe him because I don't always have the answers. I teach math, but I don't always have the solutions. I cannot always find the lyrics for his melody or understand the why behind the scratch in his record. Being his mother has taught me that it is okay to not be the best every day. There is no problem to solve here. Only another day to practice getting it right. And even when I don't, there is a melody in my heart keeping the tempo. And he will always be there to ride that beat.
Word up. Word up. That was dope.
Thank you, thank you. That's my little man. He's not a little man. He's almost as tall as me now. he's, he's 12 years old. Doc says he's going to be about 6'5". So
Dang.
he's a tall kid.
Dang. All right. All right. Three
So what
short.
we got?
Got three shorts. All right. Let's see. I might break it down in two. We got page 58, which is a pensive breath. Sometimes I write poems about how my poems feel or how they're
Okay.
happening or how they're processing, how it is to me. I think this is one of those. And it also was like the first poem after a long time. So like it's called a pensive breath. Like it's like your first time getting some after a long time. You got to little, and you take a little inhale. You waiting, exhale. A pensive breath. Here we go. Pen too heavy to hold. A pensive breath is held to seize until this listening is released, until the wind blows. The paper across the coffee table I wait, knowing the windows are closed, believing my inner doors to again be open. I perceive a portal, and the papers do move, as if they push themselves, and me along with them, in the pen of release, such as a single breath across the coffee table, able to move the entire plane and lift the concepts as well as the voices silent to my mind ran and heard internally. I reach in my pocket in my pen blade, stamped across this glass screen algorithm, fingerprints on this glass screen parchment, thoughts correlated to ads and commercials, my mind read and used against this body. I wear a mask first because I don't trust the airwaves or the micros, damaging my potential to macrocosm my manifestations, or feel my feels, or sense what's real, or peel this peel, rough and ready to go in and through and out to reveal this new pattern I've been moving in, hidden under this dead skin. All right. My faith calling, short poem. Can you mute?
Yeah, yeah.
Here we go. A little short. I mean, 20 seconds, maybe 30. It's called Faith Calling. Faith calls me from tomorrow in my subconscious forms and stays until my consciousness captures the whispers of her wisdom. Only a glance in passing as confirmation of intent, rippling into yesterday for years now. I essentially echo a silent sonar tuned to this channel, waving over canvas sometimes, at times in transit, these travel, as transferred thoughts, ultra-magnetized rhymes, charged by particles accelerated. I found verbal styles in your visuals, a breakfast of thought, a day before Ramadan, and some days after. Last one. Thank you for listening. I'm Judah One, lionlikemindState.com, the art of davidjudah.com, David Judah One Oliver, Wow Seated, Books, Amazon, Google, Barnes and Noble, Lion Like Creative Education. If you're around the Southern California area, hit us up. I send a team of artists out to you. We're growing. Black Laureates, here we go. This poem is called In Every Nerve Ending. Here we go. I love her in every nerve ending, which can be shocking when we connected magnetic, how we attract and we electric, my electronics freeze when I think of her. When I think of her before sunrise, I see her shine. I see her expand, her open, her hands, her first words, and I feel them in every nerve ending. I love her from, and from them all, I feel her. I feel her breath change before she wakes, her first words, her first steps, her brushed hair, even down to my every nerve ending. I love her from, and from them all I hear her. I hear her kisses in our silence, her unsaid and hummed rebuttals. I hear her scent in my nostrils, the kind of scent I can smell, the kind of smell I can taste and want to. Let me lead you, just walk down our path and dance a little ballroom style. These steps connect our sequences. Let us square dance and circle our orbit, even down to my every nerve ending, our microcosm cataclysmic. Our DNA wraps and forms new light, two metals melted, mingled with precious stones, pulled and beat down into a new blade to cut through certain ceilings and systems and thoughts of not, because we are and already duplicated in every nerve ending. Zero one. Mind state.
Yes, sir. Oh, wait, we couldn't see that. You got to do it again.
Ramona.
Oh, okay. That's what that is. Pomona. Got you.
Hey,
The P for Pomona. I love it. Cool, cool. Wonderful. Well, it is always a pleasure to hang out with you, sir, and to gain knowledge. You are always like, every time I talk to you, as much as I do, I still feel like I haven't done enough. So, definitely, a motivator of poets and, doing a lot in the community. Y'all, if you have not spent time listening and learning more about David, you can also hear a conversation between he and I on season one of Beyond the Spark, where we kind of dig a little deep and we talk about just how we came to be poets and those things. Great conversation. You can find that wherever you listen to podcasts, Beyond the Spark. You can also come back and tune in every first Sunday. We will have new poets and new poet laureates coming through and showing love with their new works, telling us what it's like being a poet laureate and the things that they are doing in their communities. It's happening all over the country, y'all. And yeah,
one last thing.
yeah, go for it.
Last thing. I got a new record as well, and that's on Spotify and everything that's streamable. It's called The First Laureate. Judah One, like right there, JUDAH1, The First Laureate. Basically, I'd say it's a short project, but damn near all the poems on the record, all the songs in the record are poems from the book.
Okay, okay.
Straight out of here.
So, okay, you said something, and I meant to tap into that earlier. You said something about using AI. You use AI for all of the
Not 100%. I used it for the cover. There's
uh-huh.
several things on the inside I used. All the portraits, the little funky stuff like that. That's AI. That's AI.
Okay, okay.
Uh, these guys. The little AI profile pics. Some of them
Nice.
came out really good. They ended up matching really well. Um, I used quite a bit of stuff. This was just little graphics that I made myself. I put up different haikus in the book as well. It's a really, really good read for playing long flight. Not long. It's not going to break your mind. My other poem, it will challenge you quite a bit mentally for a lot of folk. This was an enjoyable, digestible read of poetry that will still challenge you. And yeah, The First Laureate, Spotify. Pull me up right now. Give me some spins, man. It's hip hop. It's for the culture.
Yes, I love it. It's called The First Laureate. Black Atticus said, now that's a title.
I mean, I try to make it easily findable, bro. I try to make everything easily to find.
I
Easy to
love it. I
connect.
love it.
What's Judah? He's the first laureate. First laureate. There it is.
Yep, there it is. There it is. First laureate of Pomona. There you go. Put it up. Wonderful. So, like I said, y'all tune in every first Sunday. And meet some poet laureates from all over the country. Support the project in fullness of the word, volume one. And you want to get that, you can get it in paperback or you can get it in hardback. It's a dope book. You like it's a dope read. Just because some of the most dynamic poet laureates from the country, Black poet laureates from the country, are in the book, and there's 22 of us in there. So you read it, and you'll be blessed. You'll be blessed. It is published by the Fifth Woman, yours truly, and we're doing some great stuff. Look at that! Look at that! What page are you on, David?
128,
Page
120.
128. That's a good page. I think you're right before me too, aren't you? I think so. Maybe a couple pages before me. So yeah,
Yep.
get the
Same
book.
president. Like,
Get Judah One's newest book. Get the listen to the project on. Oh wait, and oh that's right, the kids books.
the kids'
Now,
books.
what do we put in on Amazon for the kids books?
Lion Light Creative Education. It's all going to come up as one whole series. Lion
Okay,
Light.
Lion Like Creative Education. Y'all
Yep.
put that in. Support the babies. We love it when they do
Yep.
poetry, and
High
they're
school,
doing
high
great
school
stuff.
kids, high school kids in continuation schools, now published authors.
Yes. That's what my summer program is doing now. We are working with youth and workshopping them so that they can be published authors by the end of this summer program as well. So, y'all support your local artists, and we'll be back in a month to do it all over again. Um, Thanks for tuning in. And
So
if you have any questions, shoot them to us. Talk to you later.